Om Shanti, everyone. Homeschool Yoga Mom here. Just have a short disclaimer for you before we get started in our yoga class. In all of our videos, we'll be practicing yoga asanas, meditation, and breath awareness techniques. All of these practices involve lengthening and strengthening the muscles, joints, the spine, the skeletal system, organs, glandular systems, the nervous system, everything. All parts of your body will be affected by your practice. So please remember that yoga and any physical exercise is an individual experience. During any part of the video that you participate in, please progress at your own pace, listen to and honor your own body. Rest when you need to rest, get water when you need to get water, and if necessary, please verify with any medical professional that you are able to participate in activities such as these before you get started. And just remember that by participating in the video, you assume your own risks, but please enjoy the class and enjoy the meditation. Om Shanti. Namaste.
Coming to the place on your mat, finding stillness. Sitting comfortably. Maybe that means crossing the legs or stacking one leg on top of the other in a half lotus, or sitting with the legs extended. Just whatever feels comfortable. Just sit comfortably for a few moments. We can tuck the belly button in, lift the heart so that we can sit tall and create lots of space for the breath. With our awareness, we can take a short mental walk through the body, starting from the bottom, working our way up to the top. Starting to send our breath to any part of the body that might need our special attention. Sending the breath to any part of the body that has tension that you may have brought with you onto the mat. Breathing deeply into those places. Draw our awareness closer into the breath and noticing that wind sensation that we feel as the breath comes in and out through the nose or the mouth, depending on how you're breathing today. And with our awareness on that wind sensation, we can begin to deepen the breath. Drawing the inhale a little bit deeper, filling up the belly on all sides. And exhale, press all of the air out. Drawing the belly button in towards the spine, creating lots of space for the next inhale. Sending it down to the belly. Exhale, press all of the air out. Breathing at your own pace. Your own pattern. Keeping your awareness on that wind sensation. You can start to deepen the breath even more. On the inhale, you can not only fill the belly, but lift the breath like an elevator into the space between the ribs. And exhale, ribs, belly. On the next inhale, we can fill up the belly, fill up the ribs, Lift the breath like that elevator up into the heart space. And exhale. Heart, ribs, belly. It's called a free heart breath. On the next inhale, filling up the belly, filling up the ribs, filling up the heart space. And exhale, heart space, ribs, belly. Again, breathing in this way at your own pace. This breath allows the breath to become deeper, drawing in more oxygen. It actually starts to engage with the core as we press the belly out and draw the belly in. Continue with this 3-part breath on your own for several more breaths. Taking the last couple of breaths here. Full and deep inhales into the belly, ribs, and heart space. Breathing out, pressing all of the air out. And as you feel ready, you start to let go of that effort of the 3-part breath. Just allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm and pattern. And start to mentally prepare ourselves to move. And then as we feel ready, we can start to move our legs and swing our feet around so that we can come to a child's pose. Briefly come to the table, pressing the hips back, tucking the belly button in, trying to reach the tailbone a little bit further for the heels. Feeling the arms reach forward, fingertips reach for the short side of the mat. With deep breaths down into the belly. We get a bonus little massage and stimulation of the organs while we're here. And if we like, we can walk our hands over to one side. Get a lateral stretch across the side body. Keeping our hips and shoulders pressed evenly down into the mat. Feeling that lengthening come all the way from the hip up through the fingertips. Staying on one side as long as you like, walking the hands through center, coming to the other side as you feel ready. In child's pose, if at any time the forehead feels like it's reaching too far down, we can always put the block under the forehead. Staying with the arms over to the side. As long as it feels comfortable to you, coming back to center when you're ready. enjoying just 1 or 2 breaths more in child's pose at the center. And then as you feel ready, we'll rise up to all fours, to table pose. And we'll start to move through the spine with some cat-cow. So with our hips stacked on top of our knees and our wrists under our shoulders or slightly in front of, we can start to move through the spine. We'll take a breath in at center. As we exhale, we're arching the back, tucking the pelvis in. As we inhale, we roll the tailbone away, pressing the belly down, heart forward, looking forward. Exhale, scoop the pelvis in, arch the back, tuck the chin. Inhale, roll the tailbone away, belly down, heart forward, looking forward. Moving with your own breath at your own pace. Starting each movement from the tailbone, that's what moves first, and all the vertebrae follow like a string of pearls. This helps to warm up the spine for everything that will come after during our practice. The tops of the feet can stay flat, or we can tuck the toes under for a bonus stretch if we like. And the next time we're back at center for these cat-cows, we're going to add a little bit more to this. So from center, we're going to pick one leg to start with, and we're going to extend that leg behind us. So the toes are tucked and the heel is pressing away, almost like we're in lunge pose. And as we feel ready, we can engage the glute as we're going to lift that leg. Okay, keep the belly button tucked in. Okay. Now, we're going to balance here. We have one leg lifted. On our next breath out, on our exhale, we can do just like cat-cow. We're going to make our cat pose. We're going to tuck the pelvis in, start to draw the knee in towards the heart. We're arching the back, pressing all of the air out. As we're ready to breathe in, we're going to roll that tailbone away. Keep the belly button tucked in so we press the heel away. Extend the leg out behind us. Squeeze on that glute. Wonderful. Exhale. Scoop the pelvis in. Draw the knee in towards the heart. Arch the back. Good. Inhale. Press that heel away back behind you. Wonderful. So it's just like cat-cow, except we have a little bit more motion with the leg. Exhale, hugging in. Inhale, pressing away. One more. The next time we're extended, we'll hold that leg out. And if we're comfortable here holding this balance, we can also engage the opposite arm. So with her right leg lifted and back, she's going to take her left arm, reach those fingertips forward, draw the shoulder blade down the back. Wonderful. You can hold for a breath. We can move in this as well. So same motion like we did before, drawing the knee in, hugging in, but we're going to draw the elbow in towards the center of the body, towards that knee. Still arching the back. Inhale, extend both the leg and the arm. Good. Exhale, drawing everything in. Inhale, extending everything out. Wonderful. A whole body challenge here. Keeping the belly button tucked in, engaging with that core. We can take a couple of dynamic movements here. This posture is called Sunbird. So some dynamic sunbirds here. And as we're ready, the next time we're extended, we can hold. Keep that belly button tucked in. Flex the heel. Wonderful. And breathe. Find your challenge. Stay as many breaths as you like. Come back to table pose when you're ready. Wonderful. If you need to take a child's pose in between, feel free to do that. There's no rush, but as you feel ready, we'll come back to table pose and we'll do the other side. Good. We're going to be on the hands and knees still. So good. Just like she did, if you are feeling some tension in your wrist, you can take that front short edge of the mat and roll it back. Then it creates a little bit of a lump. Rest the palms on the mat, let the fingertips hang off. That creates a little bit of an angle. That should help your wrist. Or you can stop and make some circles with your wrist. You can take a break if you need any attention there. As you feel ready, we'll extend out our opposite leg from our table position. Good. Squeeze the glute as we lift the leg. Keep the belly button tucked in. Okay, we can start to move with the leg with this cat-cow. So we can arch the back, draw the knee in towards the heart. Wonderful. Exhale, and then we inhale, extend the leg. Wonderful. Exhale, inhale. Good. Finding that challenge, moving with the balance of this pose. We'll take a few of these moving dynamically, and then as you feel ready, we'll hold and find the challenge of the balance and stillness in this pose. Stay for a couple of breaths. If this feels comfortable, we'd like to add a little bit more. We can extend that opposite arm. So with the left leg extended behind you, we can extend the right arm up, reaching those fingertips forward, keeping the shoulder slid down the back. Keep the belly button tucked in. Take a breath in here, and then we can breathe out. Hug everything in, hug the knee into the heart. Draw the elbow towards the knee, arching the back. Wonderful. Inhale, press away. Exhale, drawing everything in, arching the back. Inhale. Exhale. Find your challenge. Okay, so if we're not moving with both the arm and the leg, and we're just moving through the leg with both hands down, or maybe we're sticking with just traditional cat-cow. Okay, finding your challenge. As you feel ready, the next time you're extended, we can hold, find that challenge of the balance pose with both arm and leg extended, if that's where you are. And maybe flexing the heel, keeping the belly button tucked in. Find your challenge, stay as long as you like, and press back to child's pose when you're ready. Wonderful. Taking a couple of deep breaths here in child's pose, down into the belly. For that gentle expansion of the muscles of the low back, gentle massage of the organs. Wonderful. As you feel ready, we can tuck the back toes under and press the hips up, and then meet up in a downward facing dog. Wonderful. So we'll press up into downward facing dog. Maybe we take a quick shift forward into plank just to make sure that we have our hands and feet separated as evenly as we can, and then pressing back, downward facing dog. Keeping our kneecaps in alignment with the ankle. Maybe we pedal the feet, dropping one heel and the other, starting to wake up the legs. Warming up those hamstrings. Find stillness for a couple of breaths. When we're ready to find stillness, we can go ahead and bend both knees, press the belly towards the thighs, Keep the kneecaps in line with the ankles as we press the heels down and try to lengthen the legs, pressing the heart towards the knees. Good. Keep the belly button tucked in. And what we'll do here is we'll find a little bit of challenge with this downward facing dog, finding a twist. So let's start. We'll take the left hand. Just move the left hand towards the center. We'll take our right hand, and we're going to reach our right hand for our left leg. So wherever that rests, maybe that's on the thigh or the knee or the shin or the ankle. Finding that place that you can rest your hand on. Wonderful. Pressing the heart towards the knees. Feet are still about hip width apart. Stay there as long as you like, and we'll switch sides when you're ready. Releasing that arm back down to the mat. Moving the left hand back over to the left. The right hand comes to center. Moving the left hand towards the right leg. Pressing the heart towards the knees. And the heels down, staying there, finding your challenge. Coming back to center as you feel ready. Wonderful. Maybe taking one last pedal of the feet before we walk hands and feet together and come to a forward fold. Knees can be soft here. And maybe we bend one knee and then the other knee here as well, or both of them. Maybe holding elbows, nodding the head yes, shaking the head no. Just finding what's enjoyable here in this forward fold. Totally releasing the upper body over the lower body. Keeping the belly button tucked in, letting the heart lower down towards the knees. Good. On the next breath in, we're going to bend the knees, let the belly rest right on the thighs. Breathing in, sweep the arms up out to the side. Reaching up, arms overhead. Maybe even looking up in between the palms. And on the breath out, we let the hands and arms rest down by the side. Wonderful. We're going to work through some lower body today. So we're going to find chair pose. Okay, so while we're here, we're going to check in with the lower body. So we can pick up the toes, spread them wide. Make sure that the second toes are the ones that are reaching forward. We want to check in with the legs. Make sure that the knees are not caving in towards each other. Roll the thighs away from each other. Keep the kneecaps stacked on top of the ankles. Tuck the belly button in. Keep that front core working for you. Keep the heart lifted. Good. On the next breath in, we'll reach our arms up overhead. On the breath out, we're going to send our hips way out behind us, coming to chair pose. And then we can reach the fingertips in front of us, especially if we had high blood pressure. We don't want them over the head. Or we can reach our fingertips, reaching for baseboards behind us, drawing the shoulder blades together. So find that challenge that works for you. Keep the belly button tucked in. We're going to go 3 breaths here. Good. Keeping the knees stacked over the ankle. Good. On the next breath in, after your 3 breaths, we're going to come to standing, reach the arms up. We can take a breath out, let the arms rest down to the side. We can find mountain pose in between our chair pose if you like. Otherwise, we can lift the arms up again, breath in. On the exhale, we sink down into our chair pose, let our fingertips reach forward. You really want to reach the fingertips up if you don't have high blood pressure, and if you can comfortably keep your shoulders down away from your ears. Shoulder blades drawn together and back. We want 5 breaths here. That's our goal. After your 5 breaths, we're going to come on back up. Same way, sweep the arms up. Good. On the breath out, we're going to come straight to chair pose. Good. Unless you need a mountain pose in between, go ahead and take that option. We're going to take 8 breaths here, or more than that. If your personal best is more than 8 breaths, go to that personal best. Breathing deeply and evenly. Keeping the belly button tucked in. Can we sink down a little bit more in that chair pose? Send those hips way out there. Awesome. Keep the knees separated. Don't let them come together. Awesome. One option, you can also take a block and put them in between your knees here if you know that that's something that your legs normally do. After your 8 breaths, there's no rush. You can come on up. Reaching the arms up overhead, maybe a little mini back bend, and breath out. Arms rest down to the side. Awesome. You can take a rest in mountain pose here if you need. But when you're ready, we're going to face the long side of the mat and take a wide stance. No rush. All right, so we're starting to build up a little bit of strength in the thighs. We want to find a little bit of length now. So we're going to let our feet become perpendicular to each other. So that means that one foot is parallel to the short side of the mat. The other foot is parallel to the long side of the mat. And the foot that's parallel to the long side of the mat, if you were to slide it back, that heel would meet up right up into the instep of the other foot. That's kind of like the spacing that we're going for with our legs. We're going to go ahead and take that wide step out again. We can bend into that front leg. Let the knee go right over the ankle. We're just going to bend and straighten. We're going to find that place. So maybe our stance actually widens a little bit. We just want to feel nice length through the inner thigh of that extended leg and back. We can bend, straighten. Good. When we bend, we want to keep our hips shifted towards that front leg. Good. Just try to find the length in the inner thigh. If you'd like to stay still and hang out for a couple of breaths, feel free. I want you to save some strength in those quads for our next posture. Take a couple of breaths here, whether you're moving or staying still. Then as you feel ready, we're going to straighten both legs and we'll switch sides. So how to switch sides is we'll turn both feet parallel to the short side of the mat, and then we'll switch over to the other foot to make that one parallel to the long side. So we're just switching sides here again. Bend and straighten into that other leg. As you bend, we're going to shift those hips forward towards that leg. Feel that length in the inner thigh. Again, if you'd like to stay and hang out for a couple of breaths, really feel that length. You're welcome to do that. Keep the belly button tucked in. And then as you feel ready, we'll straighten both legs and turn the feet back towards the long side of the mat again. Awesome. Now from here, we're going to work with a posture called goddess posture. So we might find that we're a little too extended for this goddess. So we can walk the feet in about a step or two. Our feet we want angled out towards the corner of the mat. So they won't be perfectly parallel or perfectly perpendicular to anything. They're just going to angle out towards the side. Okay, and from here we can kind of bend and straighten the knees as well. So we find our stance. Okay, we can bend and dip the tailbone down and straighten. Yeah, take the opportunity to widen your stance or find your challenge. Maybe bring them in. Just find that spacing that works for you, bending and straightening a couple of times. Good. As you feel ready, we're going to check in. Again, before we bend the knees to stay there for a while, we want to check in. So we're going to make sure that our thighs are rolled away from each other. As we bend, we want to make sure that our knees stay on top of the ankle. Okay, our tailbone is just going to dip down. We're going to keep that belly button tucked in. Good. Pressing the knees out towards the pinky toe. Strengthen those outer hips. Lengthen the inner thighs when we do that. Awesome. We can stay here and do all lower body. If we wanted to bring our arms into it, we can reach them up. Make like cactus shape or football goal arms, drawing shoulder blades together. Wonderful. And breathe. Let's start with 3 breaths here. Good. After your 3 breaths, we can straighten the legs, rest the arms down. We're going to do just like chair pose. We're going to work up to a long hold here. As you feel ready, we can sink down again, coming into the goddess pose, dipping that tailbone down, finding the challenge for our arms if we're incorporating that. Good. Open up that heart space, draw the shoulder blades together, open up the knees towards the pinky toes. Going for 5 breaths here, it's our goal. If you need to come up with 4 there, that's fine. I just throw out goals. You can set your own goals. Good. After your 5 breaths, we'll straighten the legs, rest the arms down. Take a breath or 2. Prepare for the last one. And there's no rush, but as you feel ready, we're going to bend the knees, sink that tailbone down again into the goddess pose. Press the knees out towards the pinky toes. Open up the heart space if your arms are up. Awesome. Our goal is 8 breaths here. So we've worked up 3 breaths, 5 breaths, 8 breaths, or more if your personal best is more than 8 breaths. Go to that. Then we say go to your personal best plus 1 breath, and you're always improving. Same way you come out of it, straighten the legs, let the arms rest. So actually let the hands come to rest on the hips. Good. Keep the belly button tucked in. We're going to reach the heart forward, trying to keep a nice long spine. And keep the quads rolled away from each other. We're going to move slowly, slowly. And keep a nice long spine for as long as we can. Eventually we're going to come to a forward fold. We can reach the hands, the fingertips, or the palms down for the mat, the floor in front of us. Good. We can soften the knees if we need to. Keep the quads rolled away from each other. Keep those knees rolled out, reaching for the pinky toes. Draw the belly button in. Let the upper body completely relax over the lower body. If your hands and fingertips don't quite reach the floor, you can always reach for a block. It's always an option. If your hands do comfortably reach the floor, and you feel like you'd like to go a little bit deeper, we start to walk our hands backwards towards the long side of the mat that's behind us. Just kind of walking back until we find that spot that's working for us. Wonderful. Keep breathing. Wonderful. As you feel ready to come out of this forward fold, we're going to walk the hands around so we can bend the knees a little bit more, kind of squatting a little bit. We're going to walk our hands over to the front short side of our mat. We're going to start to feel our back heel can come up. We'll pivot on the ball of the foot. Okay, we can rest the back knee down. Move the back leg to the front, coming kind of like towards table. Then we can press back into either child or downward facing dog. Find that resting pose that's going to work for you right now. Wonderful. Maybe you'd like a little bit of both resting poses. That's fine. Wonderful. While you're in child's pose, drawing the belly button in, reaching the fingertips forward. A couple of deep breaths down into the belly. If you happen to be in downward facing dog for your rest, you can pedal the feet, drop one heel, then the other. Press the heart towards the knees. Find comfort in that stillness. If you're in downward facing dog, go ahead and drop to your knees and come to child's pose. And then once everyone's in child's pose, we can we're going to start to come up a little bit just so we can flip over onto our back. Moving when you're ready, there's no rush. Wonderful. Laying down on our back. Let's go ahead and take that block and put it in between our knees. Good. So we're going to make sure that our spacing is right, our alignment is right with our knees in line with our hips. You might feel that you would automatically kind of adjust your feet so that they feel kind of right. And what that is it's you moving your feet into alignment, your ankles into alignment with your knees, which are in line with your hips, which ultimately are in line with your shoulders. So everything's in alignment now. Put the feet flat on the mat. We're going to start to move through some rolling bridges. So the heels might draw a little bit closer to the hips. You might adjust it as you start to move. Okay, that's always fine. But we're going to start with the rolling bridges by first focusing on the pelvic tilt. Sometimes you come across this in Pilates, where they talk about the pelvic tilt. So you can kind of feel there's a gap in between your lower back and the floor. So we want to just kind of scoop the pelvis forward so that we close that gap. And then when we release it, we feel that gap is created again. So that's just the pelvic tilt, working through that pelvic tilt. Scoop the pelvis in, close the gap, and then release, the gap is created again. So how we're going to work through our rolling bridges is we're going to close that gap and continue to press the feet into the mat and lift to spine. Lift the hips off the mat. Wonderful. We can start with a little bit at a time. Maybe we only go halfway to start. Lower back down. Next time we lift, maybe go a little bit further. Lower back down. Eventually we're working so that we're lifting the hips all the way up and we feel the shoulder blades pressing down into the mat. And the hips are lifted. Wonderful. Awesome. Inhaling on the way up, exhaling on the way down. We can move through a few of these rolling bridges. Moving slowly with control, feeling the length of the front hip flexors, feeling the core work, the hips are working. Strengthening those upper back muscles as you feel the shoulder blades press down into the mat, the shoulder blades coming together. And there's no rush, but as you feel ready to find stillness, the next time you're lifted, we can stay lifted in this bridge. And you can stay here, and that's fine. We can stay lifted in this bridge. If you'd like to make this a little bit more restorative, and so that you're not working as hard, basically, in this bridge pose, we can take the other block that we have and slide it underneath the low back and sacrum, kind of playing with what height of the block that we're using. Rest that down onto the block, and then the block is completely supporting you, a supported bridge pose. You might play with the location of it just to make sure that it's not digging in anywhere uncomfortable. You should just be hanging out on the block. It's doing a lot of the work for you. And you're feeling that length of the hamstrings, strengthening of the outside of the hips and the glutes. You're also getting a mini inversion, so a little bit inverted, allowing the heart to not work as hard. The blood flow is working towards the heart instead of away from it. Anytime you're inverted, the blood flow changes, your lymph flow changes, and the fluid in the spinal fluid is moving around and changing position. So all three of those are beneficial. You can hang out in this supported bridge pose for as long as you like. We'll take a couple of our breaths here before we change position. And as you feel ready to move and come out of this supported bridge pose, to come out of this, we'll just press the hips up just that little bit more to give just enough space to slide the block out. We'll slowly lower down on the next exhale. And once we're all the way down and supported by the floor and the mat, we can remove the other block in between our knees. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hug both knees into the heart. And we can lift the head, just really hug everything in. A couple of deep breaths. Wonderful. We'll hug both knees in, and then go ahead and keep both knees hugged in, and we'll go ahead and lay the upper body down. And we'll do one more thing before our deep relaxation. So we're going to keep one knee hugged in and extend the other leg up towards the ceiling. So kind of pressing the heel up towards the ceiling. And if your leg's at an angle so that it's straight and it's not really reaching up towards the ceiling, but maybe the wall or where the ceiling meets the wall, that's fine. We're going to slowly lower that extended leg all the way down. As it gets lower down, we're going to hug it in. So we're going to kind of make a circle. It's going to lower down and hug in. At the same time that extended leg is hugging in, we're going to press the opposite leg, that heel, up towards the ceiling and the wall. Slowly lower that down. And then hug that leg in as we start to extend. So it's very slow, kind of bicycle-ish motions. Good. Hugging one side in, extending one up, slowly lowering down, using control, muscle control of the legs, the hip, engaging with the core. We're keeping that belly button tucked in. And the heart space open. Awesome. Moving through a couple more of these slow bicycles. And then as you feel ready, we can hug both knees in one last time. And we're ready to move on. Wonderful. So to prepare for deep relaxation, we'll take this one last big hug in. Exhale, press all the air out. And then we'll reach the arms up overhead, extend the legs. Breathing in, great big inhale, great big lengthening stretch. As you're ready to breathe out, we exhale, hug everything in. Press all the air out. As you're ready to breathe in, we extend. Reach the arms overhead, the fingers and toes away from each other as much as we can. And then as you're ready to exhale, hugging everything in. And we just take several of these to bring everything back to center. And there's no rush. But as you're ready for your deep relaxation, just the next time you're extended, you can stay extended. And the arms can actually, they might actually just slide down to the sides or they can stay overhead. We're just going to find a comfortable place to lay on our back. Relaxing the arms out to the side, maybe the feet reach for the outside edges of the mat. Just starting to find stillness again. Moving any props that you might need into place. Taking a few moments to start to enjoy the stillness.
And now we've reached the end of our practice, where we can start to settle in for deep relaxation. Extending the body out on your mat, allowing the feet to reach out towards the corners, and the arms can rest down by the side, lifting the palms up. Allowing the body to settle into the mat, feeling the shoulder blades press gently, the hips settle, Starting to take a mental walk through the body, starting from the bottom, working your way up to the top. Stopping to send your breath to any places in the body that need your special attention. Using the exhale to melt away and soften any tension that might still be lingering in the body. Starting to slow down enough to pay attention to the breath. Noticing where the breath is in the body. Maybe the belly expands or the heart lifts. Just noticing it first. Drawing your awareness closer to that wind sensation that you notice and feel as the breath falls in and out of the nose or the mouth, depending on how you're breathing today. With every inhale and exhale, drawing your awareness closer to that sensation. Efforting towards drawing the breath in deeper, exhaling longer. As you inhale, allowing the belly to expand on all sides. Exhale, pressing all of the air out, creating lots of space for the next inhale. Inhaling fully again. Exhaling evenly, or pressing that exhale a little bit longer than the inhale, encouraging the relaxation response in the body. Continuing with this effort of the belly breath and the awareness of the sensation of the wind of breath coming in and out. You can stay in this deep relaxation for as long as it feels comfortable to you. Remembering that when you arise from your meditation, your deep relaxation, to move gently, arise slowly. And enjoy the sense of peace that you can take with you off of the mat and into your daily life. Om Shanti.